Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. So this Sunday, it is the big one. Arsenal v Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. Delighted to bring on Arsenal fan Lee Judges to preview this game with me. Lee, the co-host of Same Old Arsenal and, of course, regular on AFTV and Gooner Talk TV. Lee, welcome to the channel and thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
This game on Sunday, how are you feeling?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always nervous. Loads of emotions in this game, you know. For me, particularly, because obviously, like half my family Spurs, so you know, you can imagine, if Arsenal win, I'll give it, and when Spurs, I have to take it. Simple as that, like, you know. And it's always a lot harder, you know. Like if you lose to Chelsea or you lose to West Ham, it ain't so bad. But when you lose to Spurs or you lose to Arsenal, it hurts a little bit more. You can't deny that. I don't care if you're an Arsenal fan or a Spurs fan. You're going to be hurt. Whoever wins on Sunday, one team, you know, like if Arsenal win, I'm going to be very, very happy, and you guys are going to all be a little bit more. And I tell you what, we take a little bit more pride from that, don't we? We enjoy it a little bit more, you know. So
yeah, you're absolutely right, Lee. Most of my family are actually Arsenal fans. Now, one of my oldest and fondest memories of a North London derby was in the FA Cup when Gazza scored in 1991. Take us back to your first ever North London derby and how you felt going to that game.
Well, like the first one that I really can visually remember is obviously the 5-0 at White Hart Lane, you know, with the Liam Brady goal and all that, like, you know. So that was when the games, when you had to get a ticket, but I think it was just before Christmas or something. So you can imagine what it was like around a Christmas table around our house. That was very, very good. I've actually gone to the North London derby when Spurs beat us 5-0 when George Wood was in goal. That was a bad game. But
very nice of you to mention that.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one, like, you know. So, but listen, I've had some great memories of Arsenal Spurs games. You know, when obviously the semi-final in '87 was fantastic. Over the 3 games, of course, Charlie Nicholas' goal when he danced around the old Spurs defence was great. And of course, you talk about that, and this is why I never ever get cocky. Like a lot of Spurs fans still get cocky when they play the Arsenal. I will never ever get cocky about an Arsenal Spurs game because that 1991 game at Wembley, I just thought we had to turn up. You know, we was going to win. We was the best team in the league. Even when we won the league, we only lost 1 game that season. I just felt that there was no way he was going to beat us. And on the day, things happened in that game, and you know that was it was a reminder never to be a cocky Arsenal fan again, because anything can happen in a North London derby. And so even though when we was at our peak of our powers, I've never ever thought, right, we're going to definitely win this game. I've always sort of give it the respect it deserves, because there's nothing like this game. I don't enjoy these games. I don't know about you, Chris. I do not enjoy them. Whenever Tottenham are going forward, I'm in a panic. When we're going forward, I'm just glad it's up that end, you know, and it's just not a great game. But once it's finished, they're great games, and you wouldn't want to be without Arsenal and Spurs playing in the same league, you know. But because you do look forward, I don't care what anybody says, you look forward to the game. Like,
I certainly enjoyed the last few.
Well, you have. Do you know what someone told me today? Last 15, I was on the Spurs TV guys earlier on. Last 15 North London derbies, Arsenal have only won 3.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that shows you. You know, listen. The thing is with Arsenal's standards have dropped, and Spurs' standards, they have risen. You know what I mean, and that's why we are where we are at the moment. And you know, as a Spurs fan, you must be pretty pleased with the way things are going in as far as that. You know, 10 years ago you would have never thought it, but there we are. This is, well, even
we need trophies, League. We need trophies, and you know, way overdue the trophies. But I want to talk to you about Arsenal's season so far, because you know, whenever I've seen you on YouTube, particularly AFTV, you know, you're never shy in coming forward and giving your opinions. You know, how are you feeling about Arsenal's season so far? Because of course you're sat in 10th place, mid-table at the moment. Very, very inconsistent. Won 11, lost 11, drawn 5, 38 points. 7 points behind North London rivals Tottenham. How are you feeling about the season so far?
No way. Obviously, like when you look at that, not good enough. Not good enough. You know what I mean? And I think that's the trouble with Arsenal. I think Arsenal on their day, and this is why, you know, you've got got to be wary of Arsenal is they can beat anybody on their day, but my God, they can lose to anybody on their day as well. Like, and there's just the inconsistencies of Arsenal is so bad. I never thought we'd be as bad as what we are this season. I'll be honest. After winning the FA Cup last year, I really thought we'd kick on and be a lot better. But there's so many things wrong at Arsenal at this moment in time, and we are starting to get them sorted now. The biggest thing about Arsenal, I think, the biggest plus with us now is forget about the results and everything. There, it is actually the we've got a few young players that we can, believe in a little bit now, like Saka, Smith Rowe's coming in. We've got Martinelli. We've got 3 or 4 good youngsters coming through, which we haven't had. We haven't had that for a very, very long time. So I think Arsenal are on the up, but there's still a long, long way to go. Long, long way to go. And this season, listen, I know I'm on a Spurs channel here and all that, and I say it's painful. It's painful when you're above us. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it. You lot give it, and I can't take it. And the quicker it gets changed, the better. But at this moment in time, the league table don't lie, Chris. It doesn't lie.
Do you know, Spurs do have a dreadful record in the Premier League away, either at Highbury or the Emirates. We only ever won once at Highbury in Premier League history, and of course once at the Emirates. 2 wins. But Jose Mourinho has an excellent record against Arsenal, only lost 2 out of 22 games. And in his press conference, I just want your thoughts on this, Lee. He said, Arsenal, I look up the table, not down it.
Well, you know what I mean? There you go. Right, so that's what listen, when he starts having digs at us, I'm happy, because that tells you that he's a little bit worried about what Arsenal can do, because there was a time when he wouldn't really worry about Arsenal, but he's got a point on that, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, before he worries about the table, he's got to deliver something down at you lot yet, and when he's done that, then I'll see. But I'll tell you what, if he doesn't, I'll enjoy having a little dig at him come the end of the season.
Lee, what have you made of Tottenham's season so far? Because, of course, earlier this season, a number of Arsenal fans must have been worried, because every pundit was tipping Tottenham to be, title contenders. I know we've been unbeaten in these last few games, but before that, we'd lost 5 out of 6 Premier League games, went through this dreadful spell. Talking about Jose Mourinho, do you believe that Jose Mourinho will go on to lift trophies at Tottenham?
I don't know. I hope not, if I'll be honest. But you're in a cup final. Listen, when you're in a cup final, you've got a chance. It's a one-off game. I got City, but and I also think you as an Arsenal fan, like anybody, you've got to worry about the Europa League because of that. Listen, Spurs, you've got some decent players at Spurs coming. You've got probably the best striker in the country, if not in Europe, and then you've got Song, who's doing the business and things like that. You've got 3 or 4 top players at Spurs. But the ultimately thing is a little bit like Arsenal. They've been a little bit inconsistent. And the thing is with Spurs, defensively, they've been poor this season. There are times, I think goalkeeper hasn't been at his best this season. I don't think Mourinho knows what his best central defensive partnership is. The fullbacks, not so much the left back now, who's a good player, but down on the right hand side, weak. Let's be honest, Arsenal and Spurs couldn't get a decent right back between the 3 of us, between the whole team. So listen, I thought Spurs would do a lot better than what they have done. I think the one thing that the pressure will come under Spurs is because, let's face it, I thought if you look at it, they've backed Mourinho when they didn't back Pochettino. So he's been he wasn't left in with a squad of maybe like Arteta was, if I'll be honest, it was on the decline. He was, he just got to the Champions League final the season before. He's had a lot of money to spend to improve that. And if I'll be honest, it's not been improved as far as the title's concerned. But it's not, as you well know, it's not easy to win a title. And as my Spurs mates say, it is to win something. I think if you was to win the League Cup, then I think, Jose's job is done, I think. I don't think that, I've said this before and I'll say it again, he won't be Tottenham manager in 2 years' time. You guys you won't put up with him. You won't put up with the standard of football that he's doing with the players that you've got isn't isn't what Tottenham want. And I know, like, let's face it, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Chris, you was all in meltdown after that Liverpool game. You know, a lot of fans wanted him out. So I think that once you, if you know, and from my point of view, I know I'm on a Spurs fan. I hope you don't get that trophy, but if you do, he won't be there that long.
The trophies have got to be coming, Lee.
They've got to be coming, like, you know. It's, and then listen, I don't care what anybody says. They're not easy to win. Like, to win the FA Cup last season, from our point of view, we had to beat City and Chelsea. That's not easy, you know. So to win the League Cup, you've got to beat Manchester City, you know. So it's not easy, you know. To win trophies, it's not, you know. And you know, like Chelsea and Man City are always going to have money to spend where we're not, as both clubs probably won't be. So it's a tough ask to win trophies. So you're in a position. He's put you in a position that you can. That's all I'm saying.
What did you make of the North London derby earlier this season? I was one of the very lucky 2,000 fans to be there, and I felt that the Tottenham fans. I felt that the Tottenham fans being there really helped the team.
Yeah, all your own way. Now, listen, they deserve to beat us because Mourinho, it was like he set up the tactics for, and what he done there is Arteta fell in the trap. That game, like, you know what I mean? Like, got the goal and then just soaked up. People turn around and say to me, "Oh yeah, but we had so much possession." Tottenham allowed us to have that possession because they knew what they was doing. We cannot fall in that trap today on Sunday. That is be a big key point is how Mourinho sets up. If Mourinho sets up with say like parking the bus, then we'll struggle. But if he comes to the Emirates and gives it a go like he has done on the last few games, you're playing into our hands a little bit. So you know, Mourinho's a shrewd old sod. You know what I mean? So I don't know what way he's going to go.
Lee, I know you're strapped for time. So last question for you. What do you make of the Europa League ties being changed around? Because, of course, you played away at Olympiacos. Yeah. We played at home. Does it give us any advantage that way?
Slight advantage. I'll be honest, a slight advantage. You know, when the draw come out, I did think, well, like, I wanted us to be away first. At home first and then away in the second. Like, when it come out at the same, I thought, do you know what? That's fair enough. But it gives you a slight advantage, but not a great advantage. I don't think it's a massive advantage. You know, what the advantage is that is we're at home. So, you know, we've got the slight advantage there. So that evens itself out, really. Like, what it does do, though, Chris, it makes it just an absolute mockery of the competition. You know what I mean? Like, why are they changing it? Why did they need to change it? So, like, basically, if, say, if West Ham were in the league, what, they got to play on Friday night, then have they? You know what I mean? And there's no fans here. So I just thought it was a bit of a ridiculous decision, really, like, you know. But it may slightly go into Spurs' favour. That, listen, Spurs done the business yesterday. They've 1 foot on into the next round. So have we. So who knows, Chris? We could be playing each other in the next round. I can see it happening, like, you know. So
well, it'd be fantastic. Lee, lastly, what's your score prediction? And feel free to give us a predicted lineup if you like.
Listen, I think we're at home. I never, ever, whether I think that you're going to beat us or not, would never ever say it. We're never about that. So I'm going Arsenal to win 2-1 at the end of the day. Like, look at that. Let's see that. Look at that. 3-0. You know what I mean? Like, even when Arsenal were at their best, unbeaten, I would never predict us to go to White Hart Lane and win 3-0. But there you go. That's typical Spurs.
There's a lot of very confident Tottenham fans out there, right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know, long may it continue, like, you know what I mean. So the gift that keeps on giving, like, you know. So I think he'll keep it roughly the same team. I don't think Spurs will change that much neither. I think they'll be both roughly the same. As I say, results went for us yesterday, where I think if they're going to rotate now, they could probably rotate in the second leg. So I feel that probably it'll be probably the same sort of lineups, like, you know. Hopefully Harry Kane's not fit, but I understand that he is, like, you know what I mean.
Oh, he'll be fit, all right. It's you know, to see that ice pack on that knee, you must have been. Yeah. Someone's gone 10-0 in there, like, he's obviously on the beers, you know what I mean. So there you go, like that. Lee, thank you very much for joining me.
No worries, I'll tell you what, I hope all you do. I hope you have a lovely Saturday, and all your friends in the chat there have a lovely Saturday, and I hope these last for a Sunday. Like, there you go, like, yeah.
Lee, thank you very much. I'm going for a 3-2 win, by the way.
Good luck to you, like, you know what I mean, like, yeah.
Cheers, mate.
No worries. Cheers, Chris.